Hello everyone, welcome to episode 4 of Create This Book 2. In this video, I am going to be finishing 2 prompts. Originally, I had planned to do 3 prompts, but these 2 prompts took me quite some time and I also lost my flow in the middle, so I thought I'd just finish these 2. So without wasting any time, let's move on to the first prompt for this video, which is to create a puzzle. Now, I had too many ideas for this prompt, and this reminded me of a time when smartphones and gadgets weren't really a thing. So we used to get these infotainment magazines for children, which my parents would regularly get for me and my brother, and we would have lots of fun solving the interactive activities and puzzles given in those magazines. So for this prompt, I am recreating one of my favorite puzzles from one of my favorite magazines, and I am translating the puzzle game in English because the magazine was published in Hindi. So the puzzle was something like this. You have to help a police inspector in identifying the culprit based on the clues given in the game. So you have a bunch of cartoon portraits with many similarities, but there are very subtle differences, and those are indicated in the clue. And by reading the clues and trying to figure out which one is the culprit, you try to find the answer to the puzzle. So that's what I'm doing here. I'm drawing the cartoon portraits. I used a reference from one of the editions available on the internet in the archive because I don't have any copies of the magazine. I wonder if they still publish the magazine because this magazine, as far as I remember, had a huge readership, but I'm not sure that today kids really prefer doing these things. But yeah, I think I should look into that and relive my nostalgia. Now, after sketching all the portraits, I outlined them with a fine liner, and it took me quite some time because I had to draw 17 individual suspects and a police officer. So yes, it took me some time, and I really enjoyed doing this cartoon style illustration. And I also renamed the game to Catch Me If You Can. And in the end of this video, we will try to solve this puzzle as well. So stay tuned until the end. To color these drawings, I used brush pens, which are water-based markers, with a brush tip, and I started adding colors to the skin first, and then I'll be doing each of their clothes and other things separately. So this process was also quite long. Just a disclaimer here. Any of these portraits do not bear resemblance to anyone in real life. This is just a cartoon, just a game, just a puzzle. So please don't come after me if you think any of these portraits look like anyone you know. So yes, that's about it. I also tried using watercolors to speed up the process, but then I did not really like the results because the watercolors just looked a bit patchy and uneven. I did not like that look for this page, so I went back to using my brush pens. Also, I tried to follow the artist's work very closely for this because I wanted to recreate this puzzle the same way it was given in the magazine. So yeah, every color, everything is what was given in the page. And the only thing I changed was the language. To add other details, I fished out another new pack of brush markers, and this is not at all a sponsored video. I am not that big a creator as of yet to have sponsored content on my channel, but yeah, I just want to make use of my art supplies that have been lying in my drawers for so long, and I don't want them to dry out without ever having a chance to use them. So that's why I'm trying to make use of as many art supplies I have in all my different videos. I was really enjoying this process because it felt like I was coloring in a coloring page, and as I was coloring different elements of these different portraits, the whole page was coming out very well and very colorful. I really loved how this page turned out. Before writing the clues in, I also added some background to each of these portraits using crayons. And now let's write down the clues. I'll be sticking this little booklet at the bottom of the page where I left some space, and each of its page will have one clue with one blank page at the end to write the answer. So the first clue is that the culprit is in disguise of a painter. He has a white headband on. The paint can he's holding is round. He is also wearing a wristwatch. He's holding a flat brush in his other hand. And the last clue is that he has 2 teeth sticking out of his mouth. I also added some doodles to each of the clues just to make it extra cute. And now I'm giving it some final touches. And now the little booklet of clues is ready. This is how the page finally looks. Now all that's left to do is stick it to the book and we can solve this puzzle. I really like how this page turned out and I hope you like it too. Let me know in the comments what you think of this page. I forgot to mention that I numbered these portraits from 1 to 17, and when we find the answer we can write that number on the answer page. I also left a little space for the prompt because I did not want to cover it completely. That's why I did not add glue to that part of the page, as you can see. Now let's move on to the next prompt, which is to create an assortment. So the prompt instructs to fill all these boxes with different things. So I had these little cutouts of blank paper and I thought that I could actually make a collection of postage stamps, but I wanted this to be a little extra, so I thought of unifying them under one theme, which would be my life goals. It's just things that I want to achieve and want to be surrounded by. So there are 14 boxes in total, and I cut these sheets into different sizes matching the size of the box, and I used that patterned scissor to add borders like stamps. I also drew margins with a ruler to leave a clean white border, which is a characteristic of these stamps. My idea for these stamps was to add very simple illustrations to signify or symbolize each of the life goals that I had in mind. These are just very simple things like family, career, peace, creativity, and so on. So I made a list of 14 things, and I also wrote down what I would like to draw for an illustration for each of those things. And now I am just preparing the background, and Over that, I will be adding the illustrations with acrylic markers. I used a pastel palette for the background because I think they work really well that way, and the illustration would pop up much more if the background is kind of pastel and light. So now I'm getting my acrylic markers ready to add the illustrations on these stamps. For the first illustration, I chose to draw an apple to symbolize health, which is at the top of my list. As we age, I think all of us become more conscious about our health, and I feel that it should be a priority on everyone's list. The next illustration is for travel, and although it is part of my goals, but it's not that high on the list as I have other priorities at the moment, and I could not really order these goals in a way I had in mind because I had to keep in mind the size of each of these boxes and what illustration would fit better in which size of the stamp. So I had to keep that in mind. And as you can see, I'm just doing very quick, cute illustrations, very doodle style illustrations, like a big pizza for family, a cute mushroom house for home, a briefcase for career, and this very adorable SpongeBob face for happiness. I also added other details with fine liner and white gel pen, and now my stamps are ready to be stuck on all these boxes. But before that, I need to color the background so the stamps would show up nicely, because the page is also white and the border of the stamps would also be white, so it wouldn't really pop up so much. I went with this happy pastel yellow color, and I thought that it would make all these stamps look good, and this is how it looks. Let me know in the comments how you think it turned out. I really like that. And now let's take a closer look at both these prompts I completed today, and it's time to solve the puzzle. So as you can see, all the clues are written here, and I'll also put this puzzle in the communities tab so you can give me your answer. For me, I think the answer is number 17, but I haven't checked the real answer for this, so it's open to interpretation. Let me know your answer in the communities post or in the comments if you feel like. And that's how this page turned out. I really like both these prompts and I had a lot of fun doing that. It's just that it took some time, but I hope I can be back with another episode very soon. You can take a closer look at all these stamps signifying my life goals. And as I mentioned before, these are very simple goals but very wholesome and very, very important to me. I want to be surrounded by nature. I want the freedom to be able to do everything. The book signifies knowledge. And I've also written all the goals except for the very small ones, which I think are quite self-explanatory. And as you can see, I also added these little flaps so the prompt does not get covered completely. And with that, we come to the end of this video. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and I will be linking all the videos of Create This Book too in the description and also in the I button. Don't forget to check. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share and subscribe to my channel. It really helps me a lot, and thank you so much for watching.